I'm Guy Dunham. I work for the United States Navy Program Executive Office for the carriers, which is the largest ship class for the Navy. I am a principal assistant program manager for the carrier's in-service platform. Within the United States Navy carrier community, we have three phases. And that's essentially, we build ships, we maintain them, and then we retire them. So I'm part of the middle portion of that life cycle, which is the in-service carrier community. I have a very interesting background because I started my family very young in life. So what I did is I focused on my career. I started a business, and at that particular time, the internet became a very, very important aspect of life. So I saw the opportunity to transition from the previous business that I was doing to enter into the information technology community. So what I did there is I went to a community college in which I took a computer science course. And as a result of that, it was a very interesting time because even today, there's a shortage of professionals in the information technology field. There's more demand than there is actually people or human resources to fill those positions. So I was doing very well in my computer science course, and I was taking a course in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And the recruiters came to my school and they interviewed all of the top students in the school, and they convinced me to leave my course to come up here to work for a very, very important firm. So I left my studies at that time, and I didn't complete my computer science. So I focused on certifications and accreditations, which was what you needed pretty much to make yourself valuable within the information technology community. So it took some time before I went back, and I went to continue my academic studies, and I went to Bellevue University, and I did my MIS in information technology. So as my career progressed, I joined the Navy, and I joined the N2N6 F1 community within the Navy, which is the short C2 community, command and control community. And they focused on a lot of technology. I continued my service within the information technology communication. It became more focused on cyberspace and cybersecurity at that time. Previously it was information technology, then it became information assurance, and then it matured into cybersecurity. So I was working in F1 at that time, and I thought that that was a very good opportunity for me to continue my educations. And at that time, I got the suggestion from one of my co-workers that I should take courses at the National Defense University. So I completed the Government Information Leadership Masters in Cybersecurity program, and that fit perfectly within what I was doing in my day job. So I took that program, and it took me approximately 3 years to complete. I started in the spring of 2014, and I finished in the spring of 2017. Every last aspect of my degree program has been incorporated into my daily, day-to-day work. It was a perfect fit. As a matter of fact, it was almost magical. As soon as I went to NDU, something very unique happened within the Navy. The Navy had something what they called a cyber awakening, where they had realized that they had connected their systems at such a rapid pace into the cyberspace domain without taking into consideration of the cyber security implications thereof. So they stood up this happened simultaneously. As soon as I signed up with NDU and my cybersecurity masters, they stood up a cybersecurity task force. And without asking, they immediately recruited me into this task force. So essentially, as I was taking the courses in NDU, every last one of those courses, every last thing I learned was being transferred from the school right to the Navy in terms of planning, strategies, forming a community. I'll give you a perfect example. The first course that I took was the Information Technology Management Leadership course. Right? It was a leadership course. And at that time, we had to lead in cybersecurity. So we stood up this whole organization, and it was focused on leading Navy. So we had to coordinate so many different stakeholders across Navy that never talked before. We call them the syscoms. They all have their own area of responsibility, and they all were very guarded with their area of responsibility, and it was very difficult to have them coordinate around cybersecurity. So we had to exhibit all of the leadership qualities that we learned within NDU in order to stand up this organization and bring all these stakeholders to the table. So that's just one example of how I was learning about these various aspects within a framework of cybersecurity, and I was practically applying that within my day job. Okay, so my latest research project has been a culmination of all my studies in the cybersecurity program. What I chose is what I call CPM&M, which is Cybersecurity Performance Measures and Metrics, because my thesis is that due to the recent increased investment in cybersecurity, leadership wants to know if they're making the proper investments, if they're spending the right cyber dollars. So I looked at cyberspace across 4 different platforms: critical infrastructure, the Department of Defense, corporate America, and individual users. With the thesis being that all of those different stakeholders who want to know if they are using cyberspace in a trusted environment, and if they can actually be secure while using cyberspace. And within my research, I tell them exactly what that means, how they can do it, and what a good cybersecurity performance dashboard and metrics should actually be, what the standard should be in order for them to get the most out of that. I would recommend anyone that asks me, and I'm already doing it, that they should 100% consider taking courses in NDU, because they are given by one thing that I want to say that is very important is that I found about NDU is that my instructors were not just theoretical instructors. They were actually the innovators that created many of the tools that during the course of 15, 20 odd years of me being within the information technology and then the information assurance community, they are the ones that created the instructions, the directives, many of the tools that I was using. And it was very, very rewarding for me to have their insight and their experience given to me during the course of this degree program. It was very wonderful to have the opportunity to see exactly how this whole community evolved by learning it right from those instructors that were actively involved in creating and developing the community. My career can go in any direction I want it to go based on the tools that I've received from this program. I can go on to do a doctorate program if I so desire. I have all the tools I need to become a senior executive within the United States Navy or any part of the government. The cybersecurity program is something that is much more demand than there are individuals that are able to fill the slots. So I recommend that anyone that is looking for a very fulfilling career to join this NDU program and take advantage of all of the brilliant experience that the professors can bring to prepare you for a very exciting and rewarding career within the cyberspace community.